Well, hello, Aquarius. This is for you if you are looking to manifest new love opportunities and you are having challenges and would like some insight and us diving into your energy as to what may be going on. And here we are going to read for what may be in your shadow self, your subconscious, which by definition you are unaware of. This is based on the work of Carl Jung, Jung, a mental health pioneer, all about integrating the shadow. And I have a whole series and playlist about shadow work, okay, to guide you through this process. But the shadow, which is your subconscious, which of course, as I said, you're unaware of, dictates every experience you're having, yet you're totally unaware of it. So if your subconscious beliefs are out of alignment with any daily manifestations you are making, then those daily manifestations are really not the hand rocking the cradle. It is what's in your subconscious that is governing what you are attracting, not only in matters of the heart, but in every other area, okay? So this is why it is so important to look into this and see why you may be having trouble manifesting romantic options at all, or why you may be getting ones that are less than what you may be looking for, or not like what you would like as far as how they treat you and that sort of thing, okay? You know, it has everything to do with why bad things happen to good people. You know, there's not this man up in the sky that's rewarding good behavior and punishing bad. I mean, we've just seen too much evidence to the contrary. How many times have you seen awesome people with big hearts having terrible experiences over and over and over again? So it has nothing to do with what you deserve, okay, and everything to do with where you are vibrationally based on your subconscious beliefs, okay? That being said, let's get to the reading and see what you may or may not be aware of that is in your subconscious, okay? These things can manifest themselves in so many different ways. Panic attacks, PTSD, fleeting thoughts. You can be triggered by things, losing your temper, feeling angry at things, overreacting. All of those are keys that you have issues. Those are literally the signs that the universe uses to let us know that we have issues that we have not dealt with and that is holding us back, okay? All right, so let's get started, Aquarius. What might be going on? Okay, so some of you have certainly dealt with endings, divorce, somebody losing interest in you, or juggling you, okay? I've got that in a couple of cards here already. Missed opportunities in your mind, okay? As far as, you know, unrequited love sometimes with the Four of Cups here. And, you know, maybe things took off really fast. You dealt with what you felt like was a strong soul connection, but it went by the wayside. But what you may or may not understand is many times those folks come into our lives, it has nothing to do with romance and everything to do with waking us up to the need to work on ourselves. People who were commitment phobes, I've got that too, people who wouldn't move forward. And it left you really feeling like you were taken advantage of or taken for granted maybe, or treated like an option, right? And if you didn't take off if you were treated like an option, but you didn't take yourself off the menu, you are not alone. We have all been there. We have done that. And I have certainly not arrived. I am one that is still working through issues in my own shadow. So it's kind of like, okay, Aquarius, we're all going through this together. So don't, you know, no one has arrived. Everyone should be working on themselves until the day they pass away, okay? Or, you know, stop breathing. And then probably there beyond, but we won't go down that rabbit trail right now. We're just sticking to the current lifetime, okay? But many times, I think you dealt with somebody who literally juggled you, left you feeling out of balance, off center, out of, you know, like you were in limbo. You didn't know what the heck was going on or why they lost interest. And so it left you with feelings of inadequacy where you didn't see your value. You probably even questioned whether you could attract somebody who was even faithful, if, or, you know, or there, you know, that mentality of, you know, all men are jerks or all women are you know, bitches or whatever. I mean, and that belief And, you know, if you have that, either consciously or subconsciously, then that is what you will manifest, that very thing. If you think you can't find a decent person, that's why, because you think that. Okay. And, you know, I think it left you feeling very uneasy, unsure, with a lot of self-doubt about your value. Maybe you're not aware of it, but it's all about, you know, finding love for yourself many times. And here's the thing. When you go inside and you work on issues associated, you know, with endings and divorce and people losing interest and unrequited love and stuff like this, where you're just being, you know, juggled right here with the Two of Pentacles, and then somebody, you know, not making a decision between you and another person and letting you be an option instead of, you know, the one, right? And you know, where you had emotion for this person, you felt like this was the one, and then yet there they are, right? And you know, when you deal with the issues associated with this stuff, many times, you know, what most people fail to understand is you can't find another person that is going to make you happy, ever. You have to be happy first here and go inside and find the love yourself. It will never, ever, ever manifest in a long-term way outside of in here until it is in here first. This is not true with just love. This is true with money. Love is honestly the highest frequency, and in my opinion, the one that is probably the last one to come along when you're working law of attraction. I feel like money is easier to manifest than love. Okay, many times people hit that vibration before they hit the vibration, which is the highest frequency here. And so honestly, this is why things like this happen to us, is the universe is trying to get our attention of how to raise our own vibration and to step into our own power. And that's why the universe uses this, because this is something that is near and dear to our heart. We feel like we have to go outside of ourselves to find someone to complete us, and that is the fallacy, and why we get on these hamster wheels of repeating relationship failures. Okay, that's why it happens. Okay. And then, you know, you keep attracting these disasters, and then the next thing you know, you've got this belief that is affirmed now that you know, that all people are jerks, right? And I can't attract anything viable. I can't attract anything worth having. There's no options out there that are, you know, going to be interested in me that I would be interested in. No viable options. And then then you attract more situations where you're alone and where you don't attract anything at all, you know. So it's kind of like this, you know, snowball effect that happens, you know. And hopefully these readings that I'm doing will help you disrupt that energy so that going forward you can attract really good, viable opportunities. Okay. But as far as zodiac signs that I've pulled, for what it's worth, I think I've pulled everything, and I don't get caught up in those, especially in these shadow work readings. But we've pulled fire, water, fire, Leo, fire, water, Cancer, fire, and earth. Okay, again, I just don't get caught up in those things. So let's look at this. Let's get some additional guidance from the tarot as far as what you need to know. You know, one thing that I really need to point out while I'm doing these is very important. When you are doing shadow work and you are working through this stuff, and I'm not going to tell you how to do it in these videos because I've already done that in my shadow work playlist, but it is very, very essential that you do self-care. Self-care is different for different people. Sometimes it's taking a drive. Sometimes it's watching a mindless comedy, dark humor, whatever. Dance, sing, right? You know, binge watch Criminal Minds, work a crossword puzzle, whatever it is that makes your heart sing. A spiritual bath, okay, bubble bath, glass of wine, candle, and, you know, close the door, put a do not disturb sign on the bathroom door. And that's what it's all about, okay? You got to do that, but especially during shadow work. You have to do it anyway, but especially during shadow work, it is very important to nurture yourself, okay? Because this is tough. But it's tough whenever you're stuck in that hamster wheel of failed relationships or hung up on an ex or whatever the case may be, okay? Many times that is so much easier said than done, okay? Well, always, okay? So, you know, I like the advice of these cards, okay? Six of Swords. you know, many of you do need to release something and not fight for something that's not worth fighting for, and move along to clearer waters and heal after a really stressful time that's been very straining and stressful and draining, okay? This card is a distance card, and putting distance between, energetic distance between you and another person, perhaps, okay? Regardless of if a person ever comes back, you have to have healed. If both parties haven't worked on themselves, it will not work because the issue is still there, okay? The old X is an X for a reason thing, because oftentimes it's very rare. In fact, reconciliations occur in 4.5%, successful reconciliations occur in 4.5% of all breakups. And there are 30% reconcile, but only 4.5% make it. So it is very, very important to energetically release as best you can. And sometimes, I mean, I did that in stages, okay? So it's okay to do that. But first you have to honor the emotions, okay? First you deal with the sadness, then the anger, then the disappointment, then the regrets about what you did, okay? And then, you know, the anger at yourself for putting up with it as long as you did, the anger at them for what they did, you know, the wanting to get back at somebody, the vengeful spot, all of that. And, you know, I dealt with every bit of that separately, and sometimes weeks, months apart from each other. Okay, you take breaks from shadow work too. Very important to understand that. And I like this card for you. It's the Devil card. And what's cool is this. The advice of this card, and it's different from the meaning. I like the advice of this card. It's all about speaking your truth and showing some spunk and standing up for yourself and putting yourself first for a change. Yes, first. And really, you always need to do that, okay? Even my daughter, I had to put myself before her, and that is when our relationship turned around. Okay, because if at the end of the day, if I'm not pouring from a full cup, I'm not a good parent. Okay, I'm not a good romantic partner. I'm not a good parent. I'm not a good daughter. I'm not a good sister, brother, coworker, friend, none of that. Okay, and again, coming back to childlike innocence and just loving yourself with a pure heart. Okay, you deserve love. And sometimes, and I'll tell you this, sometimes it's about going back to situations that happened from your childhood and honoring that child and loving that child and going back and, you know, I wrote myself a letter when I was healing some childhood wounds and I wrote myself a letter, okay, to my 8-year-old self. And I apologized for the things that I had to deal with. Yes, I did. And I loved that girl. Yes, I did. And there is nothing wrong with that. And I burned that letter because to me, that's, you know, kind of an energetic release, you know, but whatever works. I talk about that a lot in shadow work, of ways to do shadow work. There are a number of ways, and I talk about the ones that worked for me, okay? So I like these cards for you. And, you know, I think you may feel like you're in limbo, but you're not. You're exactly where you're supposed to be, Aquarius. The Hanging Man offers a different perspective, and that is this. Understand you're exactly where you're supposed to be, hearing what you're supposed to hear, seeing what you're supposed to see, and experiencing what you're supposed to be experiencing at the exact right time. And I will tell you this, Aquarius, you know, the big fat tower moment of my life I came to be grateful for, because it woke me up to things that I would have never known about myself. And I became a whole different person after that experience. It was a lifetime of heartbreaks for me before I came to the final tower moment in my own life. And it started from day one for me in my life. A lot of really tough experiences. So trust and believe that I totally understand. And, you know, you do this, and over time you become a master of manifestation to manifest great love, great jobs, great friendships, great everything, okay? And then you're a master energy worker. You're a very skilled energy worker. You can disrupt energy. You can, you know, keep energy going in the direction it's in if you like. I mean, it is literally in the hands of the magician. And that's what, you know, I hope we're all aspiring to be, right? Not just in matters of the heart, but in everything, okay? Because that shadow dictates every experience you're having. It's about turning the tables to you and bringing justice about and bringing control and balance in your own life and taking control of your own car and getting back in the driver's seat, okay? And having control over your experiences. Oh, yes, you can. Yes, you can. So thank you so much, Aquarius. Many, many blessings to all of you. Much love, much healing energy, and just the best wishes for abundance in every single area. Thanks so much.